I used to have a digital 8-track, and I would work in a guitar shop when I was about 18 or 20, and I would just come back home and drink coffee and smoke weed and sit at this 8-track until I fell asleep. And I would make just like noises and sounds, with beats or grooves, and and then listen to them the next morning and decide whether they were just too far out or not. But I never sang at that point, and so they weren't really what you might term like complete coherent songs. And that was really one of the things that made me want to learn singing as well, was that I realised I was making, arrangements rather than songs, and I wanted to make songs. I don't know what makes me compelled to write something. I try not to question that too much. I think if I question that, I go mental. Because I don't tend to write about things. That's kind of... retrospectively, you can see, I'll write something, I'll make some lyrics. I like the sound of the words that go together and the way that they scan or bounce. It's kind of, or rhyme or don't rhyme. It's about expectation. If you expect a rhyme and don't deliver it, that's as powerful as, delivering the rhyme when people expect it. There's a guy called Eugene McGuinness, who I really like at the moment. And he's just got a little bit where he says something like, I staggered out the nightclub, black and blue, battered and bruised. But the way he says it, it just goes dak, 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 it's like a gun, and it goes off, and it's really exciting. The actual words, the vocabulary isn't particularly adventurous, but it just does something, I like that in music. I remember watching Back to the Future, the film, like really seminal film in my life. For one, because I then, after watching it, spent 10 years skateboarding, and then subsequently got a guitar and became a musician. That became a gateway, so it glamorised a lot of music. I bought the soundtrack of that film, and there was really diverse. There was classical music, there was stuff by Lindsey Buckingham, there was stuff by Chuck Berry, all sorts of stuff on there. Not quite sure what would happen if I hadn't seen that film. Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah has a line which goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift. There was a point in my life where I didn't know what it meant for a long time, and then I understood it more after learning just a piece of information. If you sort of have an understanding of chords and music and harmony, then there's a language which musicians use to which that is relevant. I remember learning that piece of information in a guitar lesson once and going, that's what he's on about, I get it. I like it because it's sort of, there's an esoteric cleverness to it, which is nice. I don't really go in for kind of meaning in songs. There's one song I have which is just a snapshot image, a sushi chef behind the sushi bar that had like this bandana on and was wielding a knife, and it was raining and there was kind of a flash of lightning, and it was one shot. It could have been a photograph that I remember really clearly. And I kind of wrote, not about that scene, but you wrote using words inspired by that image. And then retrospectively, I look back at it and think, actually, maybe that was sort of captured a sort of mood that I was experiencing in my life at the time. But that's all retrospective, in the same way that you could analyse any writer's work and imply any meaning, and that's part of why I do it. I think if you try and write meaningful stuff that has a specific agenda, and you think this song is about heartbreak with a particular person, and you write that down and it's ambiguous to other people won't interpret it in the way that you've intended. And to me, I think that would be frustrating. I'd rather write about nothing in particular and allow people to see what they see in it.